what's with all the running?
Oh,
Metaphor. It's a metaphor for living and trying.
And
I'm so sad that we didn't all say that like in sequence then in rising tone.
3, 2, 1. Metaphor.
Oh.
What do you all think it's a metaphor for? I guess because I'm, while I was watching it, Miki has a kind of a inner monologue at the end where she kind of gestures toward why she runs.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have Ryo in the very beginning of the show saying running is pointless. Humans just shouldn't do. Yeah, I just was interested to hear what you guys thought that Yuasa and the show were kind of getting at by making it running such a central thing.
I basically read running, the metaphor for running, as a metaphor for living your life in a way that tries to do good and persevering in that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Doc, cast your mind back to Orange. Was there not also a baton pass scene in that?
Indeed there was.
And the metaphor in that one was people have got your back. Everyone, works as a team to support each other and pass on this thing to the next one. And I think that I do agree with what was said there about it being, living your life. I think that's also valid. Because certainly one of the first things that Miko does with her powers is use it to run faster to try and beat Miki at her own game. She doesn't do anything else. She could do some crazy stuff with her devil powers, but she's going to literally use it to attain her goal. So I absolutely agree with that. But I think as well, especially with what I said about what happens with Miki's death and the cutback sense of seeds, plus also that Ryo does not reciprocate the baton pass in any way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That it's also about working together and looking out for each other and supporting each other. I would say,
yeah, and it's the passing of caring and empathy on is it's the baton pass, and it's also the earring. I would say, yeah,
it's giving strength to someone else.
Yes,
through just interacting.
In fact, when you say that, it makes me realize if you think of the entire show as a race, only person to cross the finish line with the baton finally in hand is Ryo. Is Ryo.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly like they show repeated in the in the finale.
Yeah. It's the first time he takes hold of the baton when the race is over and everything's done.
It was a good shot. The repeated passing baton, and then finally him he never actually takes the baton, but at the end it fades to the punch connecting.
Yeah.
When Akira just socks him in the face.
And he goes through a polar ice cap.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, it was...
That looks so good.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It was nuts.
I kind of also think that the baton is a huge element in the running, what you pass on to other people just through having a bond with them and just through the generosity and empathy and everything. But I think there's also a moment because especially in episode 1 when Ryo is Akira, why do you run? And Akira just is kind of quiet for a minute and he doesn't really give an answer. And then one of Miki's final answers is she's explaining why she passes the baton and everything, but she says, why do I run? I like it.
Yeah.
It's it's not just a means to an end. The experience itself is an end for her.
Yeah,
and she just likes.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and
she just likes being empathetic.
Yeah, and the fact that it ends badly does not detract from the experience while she's having it.
In the present, it was worth it. Plus, it has the continuing impact
and the improvement.
Yes,
I think she points out it is very, very slow and incremental, such that it may seem trivial to someone who's not a runner and onlooking, but it's still meaningful to her.
And she won't see the final effects of it. They'll just go beyond her.
Thing I was thinking about when watching this the second time is, we talked about how Ryo feels about running and how he doesn't understand it. And then right after he kind of attains global power, or at least national power, Miki is still at track practice running.
Yeah.
And her sort of fan club, a couple of them are there, and they're like, humans aren't made for running. What's the point of it anyway?
I relate to that line personally.
For sure. The expression of it as something that humanity is not meant to do really kind of struck a chord with me. The second time I watched it, I kind of maybe felt that it was saying that that humans and the world that they live in existentially are not a good fit.
Yeah.
there's like always sort of opposition. There's like the things that you want to do and that you feel deeply within that you need to do are also things that are really, really hard, and that the world wasn't sort of designed so that you could easily do them, like connect to people and find yourself and fall in love. Like all these things. Someone, you know, might look at a runner and say, like, I don't get it. But like you pointed out, it's a thing that people like Miki, they just kind of feel that they need to do it in spite of the fact that, like, it might not be sort of natural, or it might not be a thing humans are fit to do. We still have a need to do them. Yeah. And that doing them is, like, as you say, a good in itself.
Yeah.
Even if you don't finish the race, even if while you're running away, you get, you know, sliced in the back. Like,
Yeah.
we're still supposed to run.
Yeah.
Even though we're not supposed to run.
Yeah.
Man, I love that description of it.
And it's like played out through the whole show in Akira also, because he is always running and racing to try to save people, and he never makes it on time.
Yeah, you're right.
He does not save his parents, he does not save Miki's family, and he doesn't save Miki. Like, he's just misses it every time.
Whoa. But if you think about it, the moment where he like had the most influence on people was the one time he was standing still
Yeah.
and giving his speech.
Yes.
Wow.
Whoa.
Holy
Whoa.
shit. Galaxy brain.
Yeah.
We've reached galaxy brain status, everyone.
Jesus Christ. Oh.
Yeah, it's like another like weird mythological layer to it is like Ryo's, like he talks about like you can't, like, why do people run? Animals are faster, and like machines make you faster. Like, you can't overcome your humanity. And they're like, that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like escape my humanity. I'm just trying to go as far as I can.
Yeah.
Yes, like it's not something to like ascend.
Yeah.
From.
Yeah.
You
Push it to the
like
limits,
it's something to inhabit fully.
This might be a little bit of a stretch, but Shaden, when you mentioned like Paradise Lost and stuff, and how like that's kind of an early classic representation of like Satan versus God, and the humans are kind of like the smaller characters in that thematically. And it's about like the divine versus the human. The fact that like God and heaven are so non-present in this story, they're just like referenced, and you'd never even see them, and it's like no one interacts with them. They're just not a force in the story. It's like so much less about like humanity versus divine, and like humanity versus humanity.
Yeah.
You've been experiencing an excerpt from the Warui Deshou anime podcast. To get the full episode or any of our full episodes, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, visit our page on SoundCloud, or go to waruidesho.wordpress.com.